oracles. And they were first introduced in 2014. Since then, they have grown a bit, but it's still a very slowly developing thing. And as you see here, Ducatur strives to be the number one standard way for businesses to connect their data into the blockchain. So yeah, next. In the last 6 months, we've been very active. We've won the Global EOS Hackathon in Hong Kong. Just recently, it was like 2 months ago. Since then, we decided to close the ICO early and focus on strategic partnerships and investors. And since then, we have grown the blockchains that we work with to EOS, Neo, Cardano. Right now, we're working with Ducatur, Quantum Key2, and Icon. If you know those. We have already delivered our MVP, and I'm going to go into detail with the other things that we did since then. Okay, so here's a slide about oracles so that you guys all understand what we're talking about. Basically, the Oracle technology allows for data outside the blockchain to enter smart contracts. And there's no native way to do this. So right now we're working with oracles that allow you to send data from outside the blockchain about cryptocurrency data, about betting data, about financials. One interesting thing that we're working with Cardano on is that to develop some kind of solution for financial data to get into smart contracts first very fast, and like any recurring data, be updated every second or so. And that's a very big challenge, but it will allow a lot of dApps to be created. So yeah, next one. Yeah. So basically, we through the growth of Ducatur in the last few in the last few months, we've seen that the problem with connecting businesses to the blockchain is still a huge thing, and we see a huge market possibility here. And the way we think about Ducatur is that we are going to gain so much experience working with real businesses, helping them transfer their data into the blockchain. At the same time, having this multi-chain approach where we're working with Ethereum, EOS, Neo, Cardano, other blockchains, that this will give us the experience to easily move businesses to blockchain. Next one. So here's just a slide explaining the Ducatur ecosystem, where we basically have our strong points together, and just easily explaining this. Having the ability to work with businesses and give them the opportunity to send their data into the blockchain, we acquire a lot of use cases for using data for companies that want to get into blockchain. And then what we have is a lot of these use cases that we can use for other businesses to come in and help them put their business on the blockchain. At the same time, we're working with putting a lot of different kinds of data onto the blockchain. And when I'm saying a lot of different kinds, I mean like numerical data, text data. This could be events, financial stuff, anything, logistics, and almost almost any business, we're talking about like different kinds of data. So what happens is we are very experienced with working with different kinds of data for different kinds of solutions, and we have this base of use cases that allow us to easily move businesses to the blockchain. So these are kind of our selling points, the base things that we think will drive us very fast in the crypto industry. First of all, it's the multi-chain approach. As I said, the idea of Ducatur is to help out different blockchains, help them establish these connections for businesses to connect their data to the blockchain. And we think that's a very big thing, allowing us to work closely with the top 10 coins like EOS, Cardano, NEO, to be talking with them and trying to get partnerships with them. This is multiple industry, and what that means, basically, any real use case of using blockchain in business, you're going to need oracles. Either way, you're going to need to send data from outside of the blockchain into the blockchain. That's where we come in hand. There's other interesting things about how we work with data and our data providers, though that's a little bit more technical. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. Okay. So the Ducatur token, as I said, we're all about data. So the token is used to pay for the data, and in our ecosystem of data providers, we also have this thing where to provide data, they need to stake our coins. And the answer to why we're doing this is that this creates a motivation in our ecosystem so that they have motivation to provide good data. And good bad data is basically where they are sending us data that's correct. For example, let's take data from cryptocurrency exchanges about the price of Bitcoin. And that data is then going into a smart contract that lets you make a bet on whether the price is going to be higher or lower. And in this situation, kind of the data provider has some kind of possibility to give that data and influence the betting smart contract. So the way we solve this problem is we have a lot of data providers giving the same kind of data. And all of them stake their tokens, providing us with that we're being sure that they're giving us good data. So the token is used to reward data providers. It is used to stake the token and for the data providers to work. It's also is going to be used for financial and cryptocurrency data, where we're going to allow companies and developers to use our data for free for some number of times, and then if they want to increase that number, they're going to pay with the tokens. And the interesting thing here is that it's a multi-chain token. It's the first multi-chain token across Ethereum, EOS, and NEO. And you might ask, what does that mean? It means that the token can is existing at the same time on 3 different blockchains, like Ethereum, EOS, and NEO. Usually everybody sticks to one blockchain, but we thought that the future of blockchain is going to be with interoperability, with multi-chain approach, and that's why we created the first multi-chain token. So you can easily change your Ducatur token from Ethereum blockchain to EOS blockchain with it having the same value. The way this works is that when you change your token from one blockchain to another, we burn it on the one you changed it from and issue it on the one you wanted to change to. Next slide. So here's a little bit more about the multi-chain token. And I think everybody heard about tokens moving from the Ethereum blockchain onto on their own blockchain, or Ethereum tokens moving onto EOS tokens. And what we see is that this almost always leads